the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast. As you can see, not in studio today. Also, no Josh. He's on vacation, leaving us out to dry, doing this mobile event. We're extremely happy to be partnered with Lockerverse and QB Unplugged for today's special event. We are here at Deshaun Watson's second annual 7-on-7 showcase up here in Berea, Ohio. It's a beautiful day for some high school football. A lot of good high-level high school football teams here duking it out for the belt. It's a pretty sweet-looking belt.
It is nice. Give me like flashbacks to when I was like 8 and I wanted to be The Rock, Stone Cold.
We couldn't be more thrilled to be up here, be invited to such a cool event. Like I said, this is Deshaun's second year doing this. It's really cool to see a guy in his stature, you know, in the community, in the Browns world, to really come out here and put on an event like this for the kids, showing a lot of support for the community. So we're super pumped to be here again. Thank you to Lockerverse, Quincy Avery, QB Unplugged. We appreciate you guys having us out here. This is a dream come true for us. We got a lot of cool stuff to get into today. We're going to sit down with some really cool special guests as long as we're able to snag them. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Check out the whole episode. Before we get to our guests, though, remember, if you want to get your intros and your voicemails on the show, head to thedawgspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. We're trying to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark. Every little bit helps. If you have already subscribed, make sure you have that notification bell tapped so you don't miss any of the new content we're putting out. This is hopefully just the beginning of some of the cool stuff we're going to do with Lockerverse and QB Unplugged. So as long as Justin and I have made a good impression without Josh here today. So hopefully this is just the beginning and you don't want to miss any of that content that we're going to be putting out. If you prefer to just listen to the show, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Lastly, if you're looking for more Dawgs content, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. You get access to the private Discord. You get to play fantasy football with us. Fantasy football signups are going to be cut off August 23rd. So if you want to play with us, we had 5 redraft leagues last year. We have 2 dynasty leagues going on right now. If there's enough interest in a third dynasty league sprouted up, who are we to say no? So, but if you want to play fantasy with us, we have to make the cutoff at some point because we have to organize all 50, 60 people from literally all over the world. We got to set up draft times, see who can make it, get everybody's emails, get everybody in the league. It takes some time. So the cutoff for that is August 23rd. So you got just a little over a month to jump into the Dog Pack, get to know everybody, get signed up for a fantasy league, and get ready for the draft. It's a lot of fun. Winners of the leagues get free Dawgs merch. We're constantly giving stuff away in there. That private Discord is where all the action is. You get to meet everybody. Guys like Kenny Mack, presidents of the Browns backers. We got royalty in there, essentially.
It's legit.
There's just all kinds of cool stuff going on there. Everybody's super chill, laid back. Everybody's a Browns fan, but then movies, music, all kinds of stuff. So if you just want to meet Browns fans, you want to hang out with me, Justin, and Josh on a more regular basis, kind of talk to us pretty much every day, get our input on stuff other than just Browns football, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member, come hang out with us. It's a great time. We're joined on the show with 2 very special guests who need no introduction. Starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, quarterback coach Quincy Avery. Guys, thank you so much for having us out here, joining us, inviting us to this awesome event. We're at the second annual Deshaun Watson 7-on-7 here in Berea, Ohio. Thank you guys for being here today.
I appreciate you having us.
Appreciate it, gang.
This is awesome. This is an awesome event to have you guys for. Just talk a little bit, Deshaun, about the tournament in general. What were some of the driving factors behind starting the tournament last year? And did you get any feedback in coming into the second year and what you wanted to do and accomplish with it?
Yeah, I think so. We started it last year. It was the first one, and going back to high school. Well, I didn't know that high school in Ohio, they didn't allow teams to do 7-on-7. So that was a very, surprising coming from where I come from the South in Georgia. That's all we lived on is 7-on-7 all through the offseason. So that was one factor. And then the next thing was just giving these kids an opportunity. Well, how can I get back in the community, give these kids the opportunity to be able to showcase their skills? I've heard nothing but great things about high school football around here, so I kind of want to be able to come out here and see that and let the skills show, and that's how we came about it.
That's awesome, man. Quincy, do you do anything hands-on here in terms of with the quarterbacking, kind of helping the kids out, or are you just kind of here to take in good football?
Man, I'm just here to spectate. You know what I'm saying?
Day off.
See these young whippersnappers throw it. Nah, it ain't a day off. Young Deshaun Watson was up this morning at 5 o'clock getting his work in, you know what I'm saying?
Because as the man says, the work comes first.
So just a few weeks ago, we actually had the opportunity to attend the National High School Football Hall of Fame induction. It's down in Canton. It was their second year also. We interviewed a couple guys like Nate Burleson, Ted Ginn, Eddie George. We asked them the importance of high school football, not just for a kid's sports future, but just their development as young men. In your opinion, how impactful is high school football for the future of these kids, not just on the field, but off the field?
I mean, it's very impactful. I think it starts in high school. You know, I had the opportunity, had a great high school coach that was very passionate about teaching me the game of football and how to become a quarterback, Michael Perry, out in Gainesville in Georgia. And, you know, he didn't take that lightly. So we came in early, watched tape, watched film. We worked on a skill set, and that helped me get ready and prepare for the next level. And I was able to, you know, get to the next level and play as a freshman and do the things I did. So, you know, I think over time it's definitely something that needs to continue to grow and get better. And like Q said, it's the work. It's not about, you know, how many stars you got or how many followers you got. You know, it's the work that actually, you know, you put in the off season to get ready for the game, for the real games.
And I think in terms of, you know, there's a football component, which Deshaun is someone who experienced a football component in a way that not many of us ever will. But there's, you know, 80 guys on a high school football team. 5 of them might go on to play college football. So the rest of those guys get to learn some valuable life lessons, right? How to work hard when they may or may not get an opportunity, right? Because that's life. So you learn life lessons through football. You get hard coaching. You learn how to work with others. You learn how to put a team before yourself, right? All the things that make you become a man or who you should want to be. And then you get to get these life lessons from a bunch of high school football coaches. Like Deshaun talked a lot about the lessons that Coach Perry taught him on the football field, but I think the lessons that he taught him off the football field were just as important, right? Yeah, he taught him, like, we're going to watch film to get better at football, but he also taught him, like, hey, man, we're going to get up early and get to work early because this is something that we said we wanted to do, so our goals and our actions are going to be congruent. So that's what I think is so important about high school football, and that's what I think is so important about high school football coaches, and I don't know if they get enough respect, but those guys are real pillars in their community.
I completely agree. I tell my wife all the time I wouldn't be the guy I was if I didn't play high school football. Just visual accountability. Like you said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. It was hard to go to 2 days when all my friends were at the swimming pool, and I was putting in 8-hour-long practices. So let's stick with high school football for a minute. Just you in particular, do you have what is like one of your best memories from high school football in your high school career?
My best memory? Probably my state championship. You know, I was my high school was, we played football, I think at that time it was 110 years and never won a state championship. Been there 6 times, lost all of them. And I was the first quarterback to be able to bring my town and my school, you know, that first state championship. And that was probably one of the best moments for sure, especially being homegrown, growing up in the system. It was definitely one of the best moments.
That's awesome. High school football, state championship, that's the pinnacle. That's the goal. So obviously we're a Cleveland Browns podcast, you know, Cleveland Browns players. That's why we're all here. So I just wanted to talk about the upcoming season for just a minute. We're all very excited to see the changes that Ken Dorsey's going to bring to the offensive scheme. I don't know if you can divulge anything. You know, I'm not looking for the inside scoop. Just what can fans expect to see out of the offense? Are you excited for the new offense and what they're going to be doing?
Yeah, most definitely. I think I'm super excited. I think everyone is super excited. I think it's going to get a little feel of a little bit of, you know, a Kevin Stefanski and that NFL style, and then you're going to get a little Dorsey and that college style. And I think it's going to be a good mix of the skill set and the players that we have. And, yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. And I know that those guys want to be very explosive and want to score a lot of points and don't hold anything back, you know, until the game is officially over.
Just going off script for a second, you mentioned Coach Stefanski. What did you see out of him in like the last season? It almost seemed like he came out of his shell. We saw more emotion on the sideline from Coach Stefanski than we'd seen in years past. Just what's he like in the locker room, and just, you know, what's the relationship like with Coach Stefanski?
I mean, the relationship is amazing. You see it every day. You see it with the team. You see it with the players. I think over the last 2 years, it's been showing that, and it starts with the players. It starts with him. You know, he comes in each and every day. He's himself. He allows us to be ourselves and have fun, but as long as we put in the work and doing what we need to do, then he give us that respect, and we do the same thing. And I think that he's getting very comfortable with the team that he's built, him and AB, and yeah, we got something special going.
Yeah, we completely agree. It was fun watching him come out of his shell a little bit last year and get pretty fired up on the sidelines. So just kind of keeping the mood light, we're talking about a little insight into the Browns locker room. Who's like the class clown? Rough practice, maybe rough game. Who's cracking the jokes, keeping it lighthearted? Reminding you guys this is our job, but it's also a game. We're here to have a good time, enjoy the process.
We haven't got to the game, but Jameis is definitely he's just natural. That's just his personality. But Jameis is definitely going to be a guy. I think that's going to be that person this year. JOK is definitely lighthearted. It's a lot of guys. No one is in there very timid or kind of uptight. I think everyone is loose, especially on game day. We come in, we bumping music, we all talking, we all chit-chatting, getting ready, and people are handling their business. And when we step on the field, you see both sides of the ball. We, dancing and celebrating after somebody make a big play, and that's what it's all about.
I don't know. For some reason, I just immediately think Newsom when I think of the swag on the defense and stuff. He's always getting hyped up. So this can go to both of you guys. Just kind of a little bit about you guys personally. Either of you guys gamers?
Yeah, I play the game.
You play the game?
He's not very good. He's a real FIFA guy. He's a FIFA guy, but no other game.
FIFA guy. So we got a big game, obviously. Just if you pre-ordered Wednesday, but Friday's the launch day. Are you guys psyched for the College Football 25?
Yeah.
Hey, are you on the game? Like, if we look, they have old Clemson teams. You not on there?
I mean, I don't. Do they?
I don't. So I think you can go back and create, but I'm pretty sure it's starting this year. Is it? How frustrated are you? They missed your window. They skipped you guys.
Yeah, they skipped.
10 years, yeah.
It was my first year. 2014 was the last one, and I went to school in 2014. So, man, I would have been.
I'm going to be calling off sick a lot when that game drops on Friday.
What was your overall going to be? You think you'd had a 98?
I would have been 99.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you worked out all right on the whole deal. You're in the Madden now, man.
Who's the highest quarterback right now?
I know who it is. I'm not going to say it.
In NCAA or?
I'm not going to say it.
So if that's a 93.
So what are you saying?
I can't be a 99?
Oh, no, what are you saying? You say what you're trying to say.
I know I'm going to be a 99.
Are you guys, are you an online guy or are you doing that dynasty mode, building up the school?
I'm Road to Glory.
Road to Glory? You live the Road to Glory, man.
Yeah, I'm Road to Glory. I'm going to keep living it, too. It's definitely cool.
I like to go to the small school. I'm trying to take UTEP to new heights, put in that time to work. So then I wanted to talk, you've been in Cleveland a couple years now. We're not necessarily seen as a destination city. Guys like Joakim Noah have been out there, nobody vacations in Cleveland, that kind of. So now that you've been here for a couple years, what would you say is an underrated part about Cleveland or Northeast Ohio? When people ask you, man, you're stuck in Cleveland, you're like, no, you got to check this out when you're in Cleveland. Is it the food? Is it the nightlife? What about Cleveland that's just kind of special and underrated?
It is not the nightlife.
Not the nightlife. I'll probably say the food and the people. And the food and the people. I think it's cool. I think it's very passionate, when it comes, especially during the season. Really every sport, baseball, football and basketball. I think every sport. So it's definitely cool when it comes to the passion and the love in the city. And the food. There'll be some dope, especially on the east side, some good food spots that I love to go to and check out.
I want to ask you to divulge.
I'll give you one thing that you need to go. Ohio has some great golf.
We're going to talk about that.
Cleveland has some great golf. All right, so
What's your favorite one?
I'm down about an hour from here. There's a course in it's in T County, Tuscarawas County. It's called Wilkshire, and it's a little older now, but that's the course I grew up playing. Now, when I say playing, I'm going out there and just hitting the ball around. I hear you guys stepped your game up a lot. I'm just out there trying.
Right.
Having fun.
I don't even know the name. The country club we went to last time.
Canterbury.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Canterbury.
Fire.
So that it's like you were reading my screen here. I was going to, how's the golf game coming along? You got the handicap.
I've been able to play since my shoulder.
That makes sense.
But I was way better than Q before I got hurt.
If you believe that, all right.
But the thing with Q though, he'll talk a lot, but he won't never tell you his actual score.
I write this shit down.
It's mental. He's got it up here.
I write it down. What do we need to talk about?
Are you keeping track of his score?
I keep track of every score.
You got to watch out there, man.
Is there anybody on the team who's like be their second profession, or is everybody kind of just out there hitting the ball around?
I don't think it'll be the second profession. They say they're good, but nobody off the top of the head that I can say that was actually. So, wait. Harrison Bryant.
Really?
Good.
Okay.
Harry was good.
Wow.
No, Joel.
Yeah,
Really?
Harrison wasn't that good. Harrison shot like
Joel.
a,
I think it was Joel that was actually good.
So there's no Tony Romo's. That guy goes out and like qualified for the Open.
No. Nobody like that for sure. I wouldn't even put myself up there.
So you're not a 99 on the course.
Oh, no.
You got a handicap?
Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put myself up there.
You had fun.
Shoot a
I heard the coach said you're good, man. He said he was jealous and everything.
Coach gonna always hype me up.
That's Coach speak.
yeah, one of the good moves.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up here, you guys got the tournament you want to get back out to. I guess we're at the high school event. If you're giving a piece of advice to any of these young kids out here, this for either one of you guys, what are you telling the guys who are in school who maybe they have aspirations to play college football or even a step further? What's your advice to these kids out here today?
I think just don't take this opportunity for granted. None of the opportunities that you get from each event, each tournament, 707, camps, all this is a great opportunity for you guys to be able to be seen. You never know which play and which opportunity is going to be able to take you to that next level. And I think that if you have that mentality and keep working and just keep working on your craft as a player, I think you'll have opportunities and, you never know what's going to come your way. And Q can kind of give you that perspective as like a, mentor, coach vibe.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing to high school kids is just make sure your work ethic matches the goals that you say you have, right? Because so oftentimes you hear guys with like these grandiose visions. I want to be D1, I want to be this, I want to be that. Like, does your work ethic match those goals? And if it does, and you don't meet those goals, it's okay, right? You tried your hard and you gave it everything you could to get to something, and that's something that's going to take you a long way. You're going to win with an attitude like that. But if you say things and you don't put the work in to get those things, not only do you not deserve it, but you won't appreciate when you get it.
That's awesome. Well, hey, we want to get you out of here, let you guys go mingle with all the players, do your guys' thing. Thank you so much for taking time, sitting down with us. Good luck this season. We can't wait to see you guys out there on the field.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Dog Pack, the summer's in full swing, and you guys know what that means. Omaha Steaks annual Hotter Than Fire sale. Go to omahasteaks.com right now, and for a limited time, you guys can get big savings on great packages from Omaha Steaks for just $99. Plus, you guys can get an extra $10 off that order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at checkout. So these packages with that promo code are essentially $89. From exquisite steaks to legendary burgers, the premium pork, the air-chilled chicken, the meatballs, the chicken wings, the appetizers, the ready-to-eat meals, the wine, everything that Omaha Steaks has to offer. Head over there today, check it out. Shop the Hotter Than Fire sale to get these exclusive savings on the mouthwatering packages that start at just $99 plus. Use that code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out for an extra $10 off your order. But hurry, because this sale is only available for a limited time. Summer always flies by, and this deal is going to fly by, so you're not going to want to miss it. Go shop today, omahasteaks.com. Use promo code DAWGS at checkout for an extra $10 off your order.
We're excited to welcome to the show now Chopz. You guys know him from formerly Twitter Spaces, now X Spaces. Man, we appreciate you being here with us, sitting down, talking some Browns football.
Of course. What's up, fellas? How we doing? We're almost there. It's football is in the air.
Yeah, I can't. It's like right around the corner. It's cool to finally meet you, by the way. I obviously see you guys on social media, so to sit down with you, this is really cool. I just want to talk a little bit about the Browns season.
Yep.
Well, what are you most looking forward to this season? Do you think it's like a little bit of the retooled defense? Do you think Ken Dorsey? What do you think of Ken Dorsey? What do you think he's going to do the offense? Just what's your outlook?
Yeah, I think to me it's like the new offense with Ken Dorsey. Just kind of based on what I've heard, it's like really playing into what Deshaun does well. It's going back to that open spread QB kind of. All right, it's laid out. Here's what I want to do. Here's my options, and kind of go. A little bit more freedom, I would say, and there's no. Kevin Stefanski is a great offense play caller, great offensive mind. The blending of his system with Ken Dorsey's system, because if you look at the knock on Ken Dorsey when he was in Buffalo, he couldn't run the ball,
right?
And that was a big problem. Kevin Stefanski is one of the best minds of the running game in football. So you're blending together a very good spread quarterback pass offense with Kevin Stefanski's run initiatives. And to me, that's super exciting, especially when you have like a talent like Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb will be back eventually. You have Jerry Jeudy added to the mix, who is a guy that's a yak receiver. The Browns have never had, at least in this iteration of them, a receiver where you get them the ball and he runs after the catch and is elusive. That is Jerry Jeudy, So to me, that's the most exciting thing, how this offense comes together under Dorsey and they kind of, make that work. But, I just love football. It's here, Greenbrier next week. I love that we're back in it,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Up here at a high school football event, I love high school football, especially here in Ohio. It's big time.
Yep.
A couple things you mentioned. Do you think Ken Dorsey calls plays this year, or do you think Kevin holds on to that?
I think eventually, I think it will be Dorsey, but again, it's so collaborative. And anytime you hear the Browns talk, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, Dorsey, whoever, Deshaun, it's all about collaboration. So I don't think it's as cut and dry as I'm calling plays. I think it's going to be so collaborative. Andy Dickerson's going to have a say in what's going on. Yes. Deuce Staley's going to be in the mix. It's going to be so like that. And my thing, Kevin's a great play caller. Kevin, even more than that people don't realize, is a great schemer of the offense in the leading up. In the week leading up, that's where Kevin really shines, and coming up with all right, how can we expose these defenses? So as long as Kevin's involved in that, I'm good, and there's no indication that he would never be taken out of that. So even if it is Dorsey calling plays, I don't think it's as big of a deal as kind of it. I know fans and me we love to talk about that, but I really think it's a little overblown about who actually is telling Deshaun what the play is.
I think it's fans just kind of.
We need something to talk about.
We're Browns fans, so we just panic mode all the time.
That's true. That panic mode all the time. I don't know how many people I had say after the Brandon Ayuk news broke yesterday. We got to trade for Brandon Ayuk. I was like, God, no, we don't need to trade for Brandon Ayuk. Everybody just calm down.
Yes.
But it's you're right. We need something to talk about all the time. There's not going to be really many training camp battles because this team is so deep.
Yeah.
You look at it, maybe the 4th, 5th defensive tackle spot.
I think the roster stuff gets interesting when you get up to the cut points and stuff like that.
Exactly. But it's not this isn't the 2017 Browns where we have a QB competition between Cody Kessler and so it's we have to find things to talk about, and obviously the play caller one is going to be number one on that list.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Nick Chubb being back sometime this year. Did you see the workout video?
I did. I mean, my thought and everything I've heard about Nick Chubb is they're going to give him time to get back. Then you see that video and you're like, this dude isn't human. What is this? He just had his whole. I was at the Pittsburgh game, never going back to Pittsburgh, by the way. I will never step foot in that city again. His whole 2 knee surgeries, and he's squatting 500 pounds.
Yeah. With that loose bar too, it's.
I would just caution fans. We see the videos, we see all that. Still give him time.
Yeah.
Don't put a week 1 expectation on it. I would be pretty surprised if he's playing week 1. Let him work his way back. And I think that's good for the Browns. Not having to rush Nick Chubb back is having him fresh for later in the season is going to be more important to me than getting him early in the season.
Agreed. Yep.
So while we're kind of waiting for him to get back and then working him in, the running back room, what are your thoughts? We had Aiden Robbins on, and we really like that guy. He's a big guy, but obviously Jerome Ford coming off a season in which he was maybe efficiency wasn't crazy high through the roof, but statistically he was productive.
Yep.
And then we go get a guy like Devontae Foreman. How do you see the running back room shaking out behind Nick Chubb?
I think, to me, I understand why it's a question mark. And again, it goes back to the Dorsey thing. Dorsey teams in the past, the running game's been a little bit of a question mark. So I understand that. To me, if you go back and watch Jerome Ford last season, when Watson was playing and they ran out of the shotgun a lot with Jerome Ford, he was very successful. It was when Jerome Ford, it comes from that's how he likes to run. That's how he does it. So going to that shotgun system more with Jerome Ford, I think can be very successful. I love Foreman, played with Deshaun in Houston before. He's a back where if you go watch him last year in Chicago, I think, can give you more than Kareem Hunt gave you last season. And Kareem Hunt gave you a lot last season. I think Naheem Hines, everything I've heard, he's going to be full go training camp day 1, which is big. He's going to be a receiving back out of the backfield. I think he's going to be productive in a lot of motion, a lot of jet sweep type stuff. Robbins, I think I've heard good things about, probably maybe a practice squad, but he's going to get opportunities. John Kelly's still in the Browns, longest tenured Brown, I think.
Yep.
I'm hopeful about the running back room. I think that they can do more than enough until Chubb kind of, and let him ease back in.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we added a lot of depth back there.
Yep.
You mentioned Nyheim Hines. I kind of think of him in a kick returner role also.
Yep. Oh yeah.
What do you think of the new return rule? How do you think it's? A way I looked at it when it was first announced was, and not only does it affect strategy in game, it almost affects roster building, because you might have had a guy who was a fringe player, but if you think he's going to be an absolute threat in the kick return game, now you might be forced to make a decision where this guy never had a chance to make it. But if you think he's going to be a threat back there, now maybe he's working his way into the conversation.
And even more than that, I think it affects the roster in a number of ways. James Prochet, if it wasn't for this new kick return system, maybe he wouldn't make the roster, but he's probably going to be your 6th wide receiver, because by the rule of the new kick return, you have to have 2 guys back to return. So James Prochet is probably that other guy, but then you look at it on both sides. They drafted Nathaniel Watson, I think, specifically for the new kick return. He's a big linebacker. He is like built for this new kick return system. I think you could see how it impacts how many linebackers they keep on the team. Maybe they keep less corners, because the whole point of the last kick return was you had the gunners, speed to get down there. That's not really the game anymore. It's like more like blocking and tackling, so you might need some bigger guys. But yeah, I think Nyheim Hines is going to be an absolute weapon back there. I'm curious to see if the coaches, if it gets too chaotic and coaches just say, you know what, kick it out of the end zone, start at the 30. Because I think week 1, we're going to see minimum like 3 touchdowns on the new kick return.
Yeah.
Because it's good. No one's going to know what to do. You're going to have some trick plays going on. And I think coaches will be like, you know what? Screw it. Kick it out, 30-yard line.
I think you said, like, how you were talking about the blocking and all that stuff. Like, literally, you set a good block up and a guy makes a move and he could be gone now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally to the house.
Exactly. It's
Completely
like,
reinvented
it's a completely different play.
Yeah.
And I think in the preseason, that's where we're going to see it. Like Bubba's already said it. I'm using that preseason. I'm going to show way more than I would, because one, no one's done it before. You have to do it in these preseason games. You have to like actually run it. So it's going to be fascinating to see. But I do wonder if we get to that point where coach is like, no, it's too much of a variable. I don't want it. We're not losing a game because of special teams, basically,
Do you think there's I've heard whisperings, and I don't know if it's true or not.
I love whisperings.
That the Chiefs had considered
Justin Reed.
Other people kicking off because they don't want to get their kicker hurt. Do you think that the Browns do something like that?
I don't even know if they don't want to get their kicker hurt. They want another weapon to run down there and tackle. Bubba was asked about that at minicamp, and he was very clear. The kickoff is going to be kind of an art with this, because it's almost like a chip shot in golf.
Yep.
You're 70 yards out. You want to be able to hit like a dart, like very precise. He believes Dustin Hopkins has the ability to precisely kick the ball, because it's going to be, hey, if you can like kind of, it's almost like the coffin quarter punt coming back. So I think the Browns won't go that way. I don't even believe the Chiefs are going to do that. I think Andy Reid
just putting it out,
little gamemanship, like trying to throw it off. But I think the Browns are going to go Dustin Hopkins, let him do it. More of a precision type plan there.
So I wanted to switch the other side of the ball a little bit real quick. Obviously, the Browns' defense last year, amazing.
Yep.
Okay. But there was clearly a huge contrast between the way they played at home versus the way they play on the road.
Yeah.
How do you think there's any reason why, in terms of other than just this different play on the road, and how do you think they correct it heading into this year?
You ask people, and like everybody kind of gives you the same answer, is the company line is basically, we just have to be better on the road. It wasn't any rhyme or reason that it was different. I think what it is one, Browns fans are the best fans in the world. So playing in front of them, that energy that the crowd is giving you, it matters. Like anybody who tells you that doesn't matter is lying. It matters. Two, I think it's just, I think they, like you look at the games where they really gave up stuff on the road, like going into the Indy game, they were coming off the San Francisco game, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They were at the top of their world. They were like, we're unbeatable. I think they took Indy a little light. They were like, it's Gardner Minshew. We're fine. I don't think they were prepared. Indy also runs a lot of misdirection, which to Jim Schwartz's defenses is the one that we saw in the Houston playoff game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bobby Sloak ran that perfectly. So I think it's more of like, it's less of a road thing, and I think more of it's like specific type. Just they ran some bad matchups in the Houston playoff game. they picked a bad day to have a bad day. That's right. I think that it was more about the situation that was at hand, and I don't think they're incapable of playing on the road, to say it, a long way to say that. And I think you're going to see them play better on the road because I think they're going to be able to, it's going to be on their mind more. But that's not going to, like with this defense at home, and you look at the schedule, everybody talks about the schedule, how hard it is. They have one of the toughest road schedules in the NFL. Or no, they have one of the toughest home schedules in the NFL, which is what you want.
Yeah.
You want those good teams. You want Mahomes. You want
Dallas,
Dallas coming to Cleveland, where we have a clear advantage with the crowd. Yeah, you're going to have some road. You're going to New Orleans. That's going to be tough. It's going to be loud. Derek Carr. You're going to Pittsburgh, obviously, Cincinnati. So it's like you got to deal with that. But I think there's some advantages to the schedule where it lines up this season.
All right, so a couple more things before we get you out here. Don't want to take up your whole day.
Yep.
A lot of talk in the offseason about staying downtown, Brook Park Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts? And which way do you think they're going to go?
Yeah, to me, I think it's inevitable that they end up in Brook Park. I think Jimmy's going to get what he wants, and I think I see both ways. I live downtown. I love being able to walk to the games. It's great. The Browns need a stadium upgrade.
Yeah.
It's just it is much like I love the Muni lot. I mean, we're gonna do a live pod down in the Muni lot. We won. Like I love it, but like you go to other cities and you see how these stadiums are set up, and it's just like the Browns could have that in Brook Park, and it's not. There's so many bad faith arguments about it. They're like, oh, you're moving the Browns out of Cleveland. No, you're moving the Browns 10 minutes away by the airport, okay? Mm-hmm. People are acting like bringing in the Art Modell law. And you know what it is? It's just people want to get their name in the paper and headlines and that kind of stuff. To me, I think it's going to end up there. I think the city of Cleveland is trying to make it seem like they did all they could to keep them. And eventually, and no one wants to be the bad guy in this situation. But I think if you poll Browns fans, I don't know. I mean, you guys talk to Browns fans all the time too. I think most people are cool with the Brook Park move. I don't think.
Yeah. I know we are.
Yeah, obviously, if it stayed downtown, but like, what would a renovation to the new state? If you're not putting a dome on it, then like what? I mean, obviously it needs to be renovated, but what are you really doing enough to make it worth the not getting the dome?
We're just stuck on the this is downtown. It's the lakefront. I think it's just that, I guess, the charisma of that idea.
I think too, if the Browns in Cleveland, they work together, if they move to Brook Park, like you said, it's 10 minutes. People can still go to downtown Cleveland game day, set up some trams, set up some, I mean, to take people back and forth. No, I completely agree. We have a guy in our dog pack in our Discord who is he works construction and stuff like that in Cleveland. He worked on the new Sherwin-Williams building. Mm-hmm. And he has a little bit of inside information in terms of like the structural integrity of the Brown Stadium. I'm not saying it's falling apart, so don't go run away and say
it's going to collapse.
Yes, but he's saying what you don't see from just walking around, like in terms of if you know what you're looking at, they need an upgrade. Like they definitely need an upgrade. We
saw it in I think a preseason game last year where it was, remember the one where it was raining really bad and there's water falling everywhere. Yeah. Like, I mean, it needs an upgrade. And it's like, to me, it's not like if you're going to spend that much money, just go all the way.
Yeah.
Go all the way, build a new one. Like you said, if you look at the plans, Jimmy wants to build hotels, a whole like community around the thing. It's close to the airport. All right, build up the RTA, which already goes to the airport, and have it go to the stadium. Like let's get creative with it. If they just end up renovating, it just to me would feel like they didn't go all the way in like they could.
Feels like a half measure to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so last thing I want to talk about, we got Coach Stefanski coming off his second Coach of the Year award. Yep. I think AB is regarded as one of the one of the best young GMs, but just one of the best GMs in general in the NFL, especially in terms of how he navigates the salary cap and all that.
Yep.
So what do you say to Browns fans who still think the sky is falling?
Are there Browns fans who think this guy's falling?
If you look, yes, like it is all corners of the internet. Like anytime you post about Stefanski, he's the reason we didn't go undefeated the last 4 years. And I'm just like, how do we get people to see that we have turned? I'm not saying we're all the way around the corner, but we have turned. We're not a laughing stock. We're not the Bears. There's teams way worse off than the Browns are the last 4 years.
I don't think. And look, I'm a Browns fan. I love Browns fans. This is not a critique of Browns fans. Mm-hmm. I don't think Browns fans know how to have a good team yet. This is how we talked about with the training camp stuff. Yes. We're so conditioned to have drama and in bad, like all the like QB controversy, all this stuff. We don't know how to just have a normal, well-run, organized franchise, which is what we have. If you assume that is what the Browns are right now. Mm-hmm. They are a normal, well-run NFL franchise who made the playoffs last year despite a wrath of injuries, and now are getting everybody back this year and had, again, did they have a sexy offseason? I think no, because Andrew Berry, all he had to do, he brought back the whole defense that was one of the best defenses in the NFL. He went and saw a need at wide receiver, that again, a position player that they didn't have, went out and got it, and filled some other holes. I would just, look, everybody's going to fan how they want to fan. I would just say, if you take a step back and you look around the NFL, the Browns are one of the more well-run organizations in football, right? And just even to say that, look where we were 8 years ago.
Yeah.
They won one game in 2 seasons, yes. and now here we are. So it's just like, it's going to be a special season. I would just tell people, enjoy the ride. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. Week 1 last year, I was sitting by my man Shep here. We went like 3 and out on the first drive, and people were calling for DTR behind me. I was like, support your fucking quarterback. Yeah. Don't watch other games. It's like, watch other NFL games. And yes. You're going to see, and I get it. We're so close to it. We care so much. The passion is there. I love that. Keep that forever, but just like try and kind of zoom out a little bit sometimes. Yeah. Because I can guarantee you the sky is not falling. They're so set up for success this year. I think it's going to be a very special year, and I can't wait.
Yeah, man. There's times I come out of a Browns game, I'm watching at home, and I'm on X, and by the end of the game, I've been defending our guys so hard. It's like I'm crawling out of the trenches. I'm bloodied, bruised up, and I'm like, God, can we just enjoy that we won?
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking?
My mentions are muted a lot of the time. I'm gonna give a little secret to the Bastards, but yeah, look. It in one way that's so good, because that just shows the passion the Browns fans have, and again, we're just not, they got to see it, we have seen it, but like, all right, now is the time to take that next step. It's win some playoff games, and let's kind of really make our mark on the season. So I can't wait. I think it's going to be a special year, starting next week, heading out to West Virginia for the Greenbrier training camp. You guys talked to Watt already. He's so locked in. Like, even more, just having been around in the past couple of years, I've never seen him as dedicated and like focused on what he has to do right here. And also, and I don't want to talk for him, but like relieved. Like, he just seems very much so comfortable.
Yes.
And I think that Dorsey, Stefanski, Berry have done such a great job of making him that comfortable that he's ready to play ball. That's it. And, ready to really put on for the city.
Man, well, we appreciate you sitting down. I could sit here and talk Browns football with you for probably the next 10 hours.
Football for 24 hours.
Yes, but we won't take up your whole day. We appreciate you sitting down. I'm sure everybody knows, but in case there's somebody, how do they find you online?
Yeah, what's my Chopz _ on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Check out the Lockerverse app. We'll be doing live streams from training camp. I'm going to be live stream training camp updates every day from the Lockerverse app out at Greenbrier, so that's going to be a great time. I appreciate you guys. I just want to give you guys your flowers.
Yeah, thank you.
I see your guys' podcast on Twitter all the time. I think you guys have great conversations, very real conversations about the Browns that a lot of people, some people don't want to admit that this team is good and fun and Deshaun's a good quarterback, so I appreciate you guys for saying it.
No, we appreciate you sitting down. We appreciate everything you do for the Browns. It was nice to finally meet you, and can't wait to get the season going.
Yep, let's do it, boys.
Once again, we want to thank Lockerverse, QB Unplugged, Quincy Avery, especially Deshaun and Chopz sitting down with us, taking time out of their day during their busy schedule, putting on this event again. It's a great event. This was the second annual Deshaun Watson 7-on-7. Hopefully there'll be a third. I'm no doubt that there will be, and it'll only continue to grow. We really appreciate them having us. Getting to sit down with Deshaun is, unreal.
Pinch yourself moment.
Yes,
right?
like I couldn't believe it. I was sitting here talking to him. He took the time to sign some of our stuff. Just super down to earth, super awesome, super appreciative of everything. So we loved having him sit down with us. Quincy, Chopz was great. This was just a dream come true for us. So thank you to everybody who helped make it happen by watching the show, supporting the show, and thank you to those guys for having us on. We're forever grateful. If you're wondering where our backdrop went, they had to take it for like the actual Cleveland media for when they did the interview. So that's how legit we are. We
trendsetters.
We set it. We set it up. We had it first, and then they took it, and so we got to use the same backgrounds as those guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate them having us out here. Again, remember, if you guys want to get into some fantasy football with us, head to jointhedawgs.com. You got till August 23rd to sign up. Again, make sure you have the notification bell tapped so you don't miss any of the new content we're going to be putting out. Like I said in the opening, hopefully this is just the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship with Lockerverse, getting to do some stuff with them. We appreciate everything they've done so far for us, and we look forward to doing more in the future, hopefully. So we appreciate you guys watching, supporting the show, helping us get to this point. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content today, and we'll see you guys sometime next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.